Many Singaporeans home seekers are looking forward to SBF because this is a rare chance to get a flat that's already built or almost done without the full 4 years BTO construction time. But if you are eyeing the February 2026 SBF, you might be a little bit disappointed. While past SBF felt like a treasure hunt filled with hidden gems, 2026 might look a bit sparse. The good stuff is getting harder to find, and the leftovers might feel more like leftovers than ever before. So here are some of the reasons why the upcoming February 2026 SBF might be a letdown to some people compared to the glory days of the past. The first reason is because of the non-selection penalty has filtered the pool. Remember the old days when people just apply for a BTO just to see how it goes and then reject the flat because it was on a low floor or facing a bin center, or simply don't show up because they have a bad queue number? Those days are effectively over. Since late 2023, HDB has tightened the rules. If you are invited to pick a flat and you don't, you lose your first-timer priority for the whole year. By February 2026, this rule has been in place long enough to change buyer behavior completely. People are now forced to be serious. If they get a queue number, they take the flat, even if it's not their dream unit, because the penalty is too painful. Of course, there are some who still walks away, but this would be the minority. This means the units making it back to the balanced pool for 2026 are likely those where the previous buyer had a major life crisis, such as a very messy breakup or a massive financial disaster. The average good unit that people used to reject just because they were picky, now they are still being snapped up and won't reach the SBF stage. And then the second reason is the vanishing standard mature flat. So in the past, SBF was still great because you could find units in mature towns like Queenstown or Toa Payoh that still had a 5-year MOP but no subsidy clawbacks. However, since the new Standard Plus Prime classification kicked in since late 2024, almost all new projects in choice locations are now either Plus or Prime. By February 2026, the SBF pool will start showing a split. By February 2026, the SBF pool in mature towns will mostly be units from Plus or Prime projects that comes with a 10-year MOP and a subsidy clawback. It will be very rare to find units from older BTO launches in a mature town but still has a 5-year MOP unless they are one of those old repurchase flats. The golden zone where a flat in a mature town has a 5-year MOP is becoming a vanishing species. If you want a balanced flat in a good area in 2026, you will likely have to swallow those stricter Plus or Prime conditions. And then the third reason is SBF is a mix between old and new flats. So the February 2026 SBF is not just about unselected BTO units, it is also includes repurchase flats, which is older flats HDB bought back. When I say old, I mean really old. Like based on past SBF, some of these flats are like 40 years old or like 50 years old or something. So it's like really old. In the past, you might take a gamble on a repurchase flat because SBF rules were chill. But now, even if you are only left with 30-year-old repurchase flat in the SBF exercise, the non-selection penalty still applies. I mean, of course, there are still thresholds for SBF where you can walk away without getting penalized, but then the limit is like very, very low. This creates a high-stakes environment. If you get a queue number for SBF, and the only things left are the low floor west sun facing the highway units, you are stuck. You either pick a flat you're not happy with or get penalized for a year. Reason number 4 is high resale prices means rarely people would let go. Look at the resale market. With prices still holding firm, anyone who successfully booked a BTO in the last few years knows that they are sitting on a potential gold mine, especially if it's in a mature town. Unless a couple literally cannot stay together, they will do everything in their power to keep that BTO unit. In the past, someone might drop a BTO because they found a better resale deal, but in 2026, with resale prices being what they are, dropping a BTO is like throwing away a winning lottery ticket. The voluntary returns to HDB are drying up. So the question now, should you just apply for a BTO instead? If the SBF choices feel a bit too pre-loved or overly restricted, you might want to look at the February 2026 BTO launch instead. While you will have to wait for the building to be finished, you get more choices if your queue number is good and a brand new 99-year lease. The February 2026 BTO lineup is admittedly not the greatest, but there are some choices where you might be happy with. In total, there are about 4,600 units of BTO in February 2026 across Bukit Merah, Toa Payoh, Tampines, and Sembawang North. So, if you are looking for something in a mature town, then Bukit Merah or Toa Payoh would be your best bet. These are high-demand city fringe areas. These will almost certainly be prime or plus, but you're getting a fresh unit in a top-tier location. And then you have Tampines, which is a massive favorite for people who love the east side. There are two projects in Tampines. So one is near Tampines Central. Most likely it will be a plus project. And then there's another project near Tampines East, which likely will be a standard because it is further away from the MRT station. And then there are also two projects in Sembawang North. So if you are looking for a standard flat with a 5-year MOP and more breathing room in your budget, these two will be your best bet. And with the Sembawang Shipyard transformation plan, who knows? These two projects in Sembawang North could be a gold mine in the future. So which one should you pick? Is it SBF or BTO? Unfortunately, unlike BTO launches where HDB gives us a preview of the locations months in advance, SBF details are kept secret until the day of the application opens. HDB doesn't share the exact unit list, floor levels, or ethnic quota for SBF in advance. We just have to wait for the sales period to start to see if there's actually anything worth bidding for. If you want to know more about the February 2026 BTO projects, please go to my channel because I have so many videos about this. And if you want to know why does HDB sells old repurchased flats in SBF exercise as well, check out my other video because I made a separate video about it exclusive for members only. To support my work, you can give a one-time tip by pressing the thanks button, pick the amount that you want, and click buy and send. Or you can also press the join button for exclusive contents and monthly membership. Your support means a lot to keep us independent. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!